The gurus are lying to you. They've convinced you that you need thousands of followers to build an online business. Well, today is a day that I prove you don't. You see, believing that lie has already cost you time, money, and quietly your confidence. You see, someone has sold you the wrong map, and I've spent 500 conversations finding the right one. Because, my friends, YouTubers are dead. But what replaces them is simpler, and it's the only strategy that makes sense if you're over 40. So stay with me, but calmly, because when you hear this, the chances are you're going to be so bloody angry that nobody told you sooner. Well, today I'm giving you 3 keys, the ones that nobody in the online business space wants you to have. Because if you have these 3 keys, you don't need them anymore. So, key number 1 is around why chasing a big audience isn't just hard, it's the wrong game, and it's been costing you more than you know. Key number 2, the one thing you need to find before you find your audience. It's been sitting inside you the whole time. Most people skip it, and that's why they stay stuck. And key number 3 is the only number that actually matters when you're building an online business over 40. It's not what you think. And once you hear it, well, the whole world's going to shift. Because without these 3 keys, nothing else works. Not the posting, not the hustle, not the strategies you've already tried. And if you want one of these keys right now, just comment the word asset and I'll send you my free AI tool that starts the whole process for you. And it only takes a few minutes. So comment asset and stay with me while we change your life. Now, before we get started, let me ask you something. How long have you been trying to make this online business thing work? 6 months, a year, maybe longer? And in that time, how many times have you heard the same things? Post every day, pick a niche, build a funnel, go viral, get to 10,000 subscribers before you even think about making any money? Well, please let me know in the comments because it helps me make the right videos for you. And you know what? You've probably tried most of it, right? And somewhere between trying to keep up with an algorithm that changes every 6 weeks and filming your 14th video with maybe 47 views, 2 comments, and one's your mum, come on. Between all of that, you started wondering if this was ever going to work. Do you know what? I hear this every single week from mothers, fathers, doctors, coaches, police officers, teachers, restaurant owners. The list is literally endless. People with 20, 30, 40 years of real experience, and they're just bloody exhausted. And it's not because of the lack of discipline. It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they're too old, let me assure you. But it's because someone handed them the wrong map and called it a strategy. Yes, the Be a YouTuber map. You know what? Grow big, go fast, chase the algorithm, build an audience first, then figure out what you've got to sell. My friends, that's not a strategy. That's a trap, more commonly known as bloody stupid. I mean, who follows a map without a destination? That's like sticking 20 quid's worth of fuel in the car and saying, road trip. You know, you're not going to get very far. I laugh at myself then. You're not doing it wrong because something's wrong with you. You're doing it wrong because someone sold you a YouTuber map. Now, you're not here to play the algorithm. You're here to activate an audience. And I'm here to give you a different map, one that works. Because like I said, chasing a big audience isn't just hard. It's the wrong game entirely for you. So let's look at this key number 1. Why chasing this algorithm thing is the wrong game. Well, think about the last time you watched a video from someone, say, with 1 million subscribers. All that production, all that effort, all that audience. And what did they sell at the end of it? A $27 ebook. You see, here's the truth about this YouTuber model. Big audiences don't mean big revenue. They mean big pressure, big burnout, big algorithm dependency. Well, you're not a media company. You're an expert. And experts don't need millions of followers. They just need the right ones. Now, back in 2008, a man called Kevin Kelly, he wrote something that should have changed the internet forever. Now, Kevin Kelly is one of the founding editors of Wired magazine. A man who spent decades studying how creators and experts build sustainable businesses. Now, in 2008, he published a concept called 1000 True Fans. And to be fair, it was pretty simple. You don't need 1 million followers to build a sustainable business. You need 1,000 people who truly love what you do. 1,000 people who will buy everything you create, who will tell everyone they know about you, who will follow you wherever you go. Just 1,000. That was 2008. 18 years ago. And yet here we are in 2026, and every single guru is still telling you that you need hundreds of thousands of followers before you can earn a penny. Now, either they didn't read it or they don't want you to know it. Because if you knew, you'd stop buying their courses, wouldn't you? Here's the thing about the 1000 True Fans. Even Kevin Kelly missed something. 1,000 is still the wrong starting point for beginners like you. And this is where the man, Mr. Russell Brunson, comes in. You might have seen these flying around the internet somewhere. Russell Brunson was the founder of ClickFunnels, one of the most successful online business builders of the last decade, arguably. And he had a concept called your Dream 100. And the idea is this. There are already 100 people out there who need exactly what you know. Heck, you've probably got them existing in your current social media channels. Just let that marinate for a moment, okay? They're already looking for it. They're already searching for someone like you. They're already a former version of you sitting exactly where you were 5, 10 years ago. So you don't need 1 million strangers. You don't even need to find 1,000. You need to find those 100 people first. Now add in my 500 conversations into that, because here's the pattern that I keep seeing across every single one of those conversations. The people who succeeded, the ones who actually built something real, didn't build big audiences first. They found 100 people who were a former version of themselves. They served those 100 people so completely, I mean, literally like creating a cult following, that those people told 10 others just like them. 100 times 10 equals 1,000. Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans built from 100. Not chased from scratch, earned through service, through alignment, through unwavering commitment to one type of person. And I call the whole strategy the 100 rule. And it's the only approach that makes sense if you're over 40 with real experience and a real life. The 100 rule is your lived beginning. Because let's be honest, we don't have time to hustle like a 22-year-old. We've got 20, 30, 40 years of experience that the internet is starving for. Okay, here's the math, okay? 100 people pay you $1,000. That's 100 grand. Okay, that's your 6-figure business right there. This is exactly what I did with the Heart Brand Blueprint back in December 2024. No viral video, no dancing on reels, no posting 3 times a day hoping the algorithm notices you. See, when you serve those 100 people well enough, they know 10 people exactly like them. And that's your 1,000 True Fans concept. Built on results, built on referrals, and built on trust. You see, legacy outlives likes every single time. That's not a funnel, that's a movement. It's your flywheel in action. That is key 1 checked off. But here is where every single person I've ever spoken to hits the same wall. And if you've ever started building something online and then stopped, this is exactly why. Before you can find your 100 people, there's something you need to do first. And it's been sitting inside you the whole time. Now, my friends, if this is resonating with you, I'd be grateful if you do hit that like button for me. And if you want more content like this, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe so we can create that cult-like movement that I mentioned earlier. Because what I'm about to show you next is where it all comes together. Let's look at key number 2, the one thing you need to find before you find your audience. Now, here's what happens when people skip this step. They create content for months. They attract random mix of people who don't really connect with what you do. You get some views, but no leads. You get some leads, but no sales. You get some sales, but zero retention. And they end up exhausted, serving people they don't love, wondering why it feels so damn hard. Now, skipping this step is the reason that most online businesses stall before they even start. I see it call after call after call. You see, people with 20 years of experience who can't see the value in what they know. They think everybody already knows what they know. They think it's too obvious to be worth paying for. Do you feel like that? Let me know. You see, it's not obvious. It's invisible to you because you're too close to it. You can't see the wood for the trees. And here's the thing that gets me every single time. The answer's been sitting inside you the whole time. Your lived experience is your loudest credential. You just can't see it yet. There's a Japanese concept called ikigai. It's been around for centuries, and it might be the most powerful business building framework that nobody's talking about in the online space right now. And you've probably seen this from me in previous videos. Ikigai is the intersection of four things. Okay? What you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. Most people live in just one of these circles. They do what they're good at, but they don't love it. Well, that's a job. And they do what they love, but they can't get paid for it because that's a hobby. And they do what the world needs, but they burn out doing it. Well, that's a mission without a model. But sitting in the center here, that's your hidden asset. That's the thing your Dream 100 desperately needs from you. The thing you can teach, the thing you can package, the thing that you can build a business around, because you are the niche and your journey is your method. Now, I actually became a certified Ikigai coach because of how transformative this was for every single person I work with. And I teach the full deep dive version in the Heart Brand Blueprint. But right now, I want to show you the core of it so that you can start to feel where your hidden asset lives. So let's just look at this again, okay? Let's look at this first circle. What could you talk about for free? For me, I love digital marketing and content creation and depth and the soul of it. So for me, it's conscious content. That's what I would talk about until the cows come home. But what would you talk about until the cows come home? Then we got this second circle here. What do people always come to you for advice on? You know, what's the thing that you can really put out into the world? I get asked about this a lot. It's like building a following to a business, building a community and a movement around purpose. That's what people come to me for. So what do people come to you for that you can give back to the world? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. Then we got this third circle down here. What's the solution that you wish you had existed when you started out? Now, this one's easier to answer than it actually sounds. For me, it was systems and processes that create real outcomes. So I created a curriculum, a guide, a step-by-step, something to walk me through it. What would yours be? And then we've got this fourth circle over here. What experience have you lived through that others would pay to shortcut? Now, this is a big one. And this is something you've lived through and come out the other side of. Now, for me, it was bootstrapping my business when I was desperate to escape the day job, working for a boss who did not value me, feeling trapped, feeling like my experience meant nothing. I'm sure some of you have experienced that. Let me know in the comments. And now I teach and coach others to leave their day job to replace their income doing something they love in less time, making more money. That experience, that journey was my hidden asset. And yours is just as powerful. You just haven't named it yet. The answers for those four questions point directly to the center. And once you find what's in the middle, finding your 100 people comes almost effortlessly. Because you're not trying to appeal to everyone. You're speaking directly to one person, a former version of yourself. Someone has the same questions you used to have, the same fears, the same frustrations, the same feeling that their experience must be worth something, but they just can't quite see it yet. And you know what? Only a few hours ago, I was actually on a call with a guy who was experiencing just that. So please, just know that you're not alone. You don't need more polish, you need more presence. The more you become you, the more magnetic your message becomes. You already know what they need to hear because someone said it to you once. Now, if you want to find your hidden asset right now, drop asset in the comments for me. The free AI tool I built asks you just 10 simple questions and shows you exactly what's sitting in the middle of your ikigai. 10 minutes changes everything. So that's key 2. Check. So now you know what you're offering and you know the 100 people you're offering it to. The question everyone asks me next is the one that stumps most YouTube gurus completely. How do you actually get it in front of them? That's where the shift begins. So let's talk about key number 3, the only number that matters and how to reach them. This is where these YouTube gurus will lose you. They tell you to keep posting, stay consistent, trust the process. Does it sound familiar? Well, while you're trusting the process, your bills aren't trusting the process, the rent isn't trusting the process, and your family aren't trusting the process, are they? So here's exactly what I did, and you can do it too. I started by answering questions my ideal client was already searching on YouTube. One question, one video, one answer. Simple, searchable, and specific. And while those videos were quietly building, I was doing something that most YouTubers never think to do. I was inviting people to a conversation. Not to sell anything, just to listen, to understand their pain points, their fears, and their frustrations. That's where those 500 conversations come in. Not from sitting at a desk and guessing what my audience need, but by actually talking to them. But here's what I also knew. I'd spent a decade building an audience, not on YouTube, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, email. Real people, real relationships, real trust. And I wasn't going to ignore that, and neither should you. So I did something very, very simple. I took every video that I'd made for YouTube and I put it everywhere else too. Mic drop moment. You can use your content somewhere other than YouTube. Now, the videos went natively on Facebook, the transcripts became a newsletter, paragraphs became social media posts, one piece of content, every platform, every place my Dream 100 already lived. That's what you call an omnipresence approach. And Google actually proved why it works. Google produced a study some time back about ZMOT, Zero Moment of Truth, which showed that people need to encounter you across multiple touch points before they trust you enough to buy. 7 hours of content, 11 different interactions, and 4 different platforms. Let that soak in a minute. You see, 7 hours is not one viral video. That's consistent presence, showing up time and time again. Until one day they think, this person keeps making sense. They keep speaking to me directly. I need to find out some more. And that's when the conversation starts. That's when the Rule 100 starts working. Now, that 40 grand launch of the Heart Brand Blueprint back in December 2024, I want to be straight with you about it. It didn't all come from YouTube. It came from my Dream 100. People who have been watching me on Facebook for years, people who've read my emails, people who have been seeing me show up consistently across multiple platforms. YouTube was my engine, but the Dream 100 lived everywhere. And when I brought them together around one offer, they showed up. Because here's the truth about that YouTuber model. Being a YouTuber is dead. Not because YouTube is dead. I love the platform, but because people come to YouTube to be a YouTuber and they think, if I get enough views, YouTube will pay me. So they chase the views, they chase likes, they measure their self-worth by a number on a screen. And that's the worst thing you can do when you're building a business. Views are vanity. Conversations are your currency. Your Dream 100 is your business. And most people watching this right now are still waiting, still in a job, still telling themselves that when things settle down, when the kids are older, when the mortgage is smaller, when the things get less busy, oh, come on, things don't settle down. They just change shape. And deep down, you already know what that word means. Just over broke. That's not safety, my friends. That's a slow leak. And you already know it. That's why you're still watching this video. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. Check number 3 off the list. So here's where this leaves you. You don't need 1 million subscribers. You don't need to go viral. You need 100 people, the right 100 people. People who are where you were 5 or 10 years ago. People who would pay anything to have what you know now. Find your hidden asset. Find your dream 100. Serve them well so they can't stop talking about you. When you speak from your soul, you sell without selling. The hidden asset finder is in the comments and the description. Free, 10 minutes, start there. And if you've watched this far, the Heart Brand Blueprint is open for you right now. 100 days, me working with you personally, holding your hand until your business is generating $5,000 a month. Real work, real results, real people. And please, don't just take my word for it. See what Rose achieved. The link is in the description. So now you have your 3 keys. Watch this video to see what doors they open.